Hello, Evolver. Daymond here with Daymond and Company. Technically inclined, creatively driven. I exist to inspire. I am also your certified life coach with pluralpreneur.com. So this is another inspirational insight. What is your vision in life, Evolver? Well, if you didn't know that visualization and manifestation go hand in hand, you're in the right place. Stay here. You're probably like me. You're on your spiritual journey. You're on your evolutionary quest. And the word manifestation, it just keeps popping up. You see it everywhere. It's on social media. It's online. It's on television. Manifestation, manifestation. You can manifest this. You can manifest that. Manifestation. You could do it. You can live the life that you desire. I understand, Evolver, and we are in sync, okay? But that also means that your headspace is probably in a place that mine was, and I was wondering, well, how do I manifest, right? You make it seem like it's so easy. You make it seem like I snap my fingers and then, all of a sudden, woohoo, I'm living a life that, I want to live. I'm getting everything out of life that I desire, right? Are you at that place? So this is the thing, Evolver. Stick around, because I think that this inspirational insight is going to be a very good one. And so I have a question for you. Are you stuck? Are you stuck with manifestation? Are you stuck? Do you keep hearing it and then you see everything around you and you see these other people manifesting, but you can't seem to manifest what you want to manifest in life, Evolver? Well, I tell you what, it's tea time. Let's talk. Well, Evolver, so as I mentioned, this inspirational insight is manifestation for your best you, okay? So how about I start here, Evolver, because this is a heavy topic, and I think this is going to be a long inspirational insight, but I think you want to stick around for every minute of it. And what I like to do on these videos, especially with a topic like this one, is I like to level set. So why don't I start here? I'm going to start with what is manifestation, right? So why don't we just have a baseline that we're working from as soon as we start this video? So according to dictionary.com, manifestation is the act of manifesting. Wow, yeah. But to manifest means to make clear and evident to the eye or the understanding, to show plainly. So that's the dictionary. According to dictionary.com, it's very bland. But what a lot of us have actually come to understand manifestation as is something in the spiritual or the metaphysical context, right? Whereas manifestation is a form of bringing into reality what was once only a thought or only an idea. That's what most of us are beginning to now understand manifestation as being. And we've come to know manifestation as something that we use in the world all around us, because we all know this world is like a playing field where we're running around and we're facing like all of these obstacles in life, and a lot of them threaten to prevent us from becoming the people that we want to be. They're preventing us from living the lives that we desire to live. So now we're getting a whole bunch of information and a whole bunch of knowledge just bombarding us all the time about how we actually have the power to manifest. We can actually use this power to really just jump over all of these obstacles that are hitting us left and right in life and evolve to our higher selves, and we can thrive, right? We can Hashtag manifest your destiny, right? I'm guilty of the same thing. If you follow my social media, you know that I constantly say things like, evolve with me, be your best you. And all I'm really saying there is manifest a better version of yourself. So naturally, this topic would hit one of my inspirational insights. So again, how on earth do we manifest? Well, how about I start here? You can find a lot of information online, but what I attempt with my videos is to break things down. I like to meet my clients and my people where they are, because I know there's a lot of distractions in the world. There are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of information. A lot of the stuff that we hear about is pie in the sky notions of things that we can do. I think manifestation is one of those things. We keep hearing about how we can do it, but it's just so out of reach for a lot of us. And I want to make sure that we understand that there is a way to get there. So that is what I am attempting to do with this video. So one of my resources that I use to get this conversation going actually showed up on Oprah Daily. Oprah, I love her. So, naturally, if you research manifestation, Oprah is going to show up in there somewhere, because we all know that Oprah is a shining example of what it means to manifest your life and to make it fold itself around you so that you're actually living your true purpose in life. So Oprah Daily has a wonderful article written by Kimberly Zapata. And what Kimberly has done is she's come up with, these phrases throughout the article that map to things that you can do to manifest your destiny. A lot of the things that Kimberly has in this article, it actually shows up in hundreds of other places online. So if you research manifestation, a lot of what Kimberly talks about shows up in a lot of different areas online. But what I'm doing for this video is I'm just gonna pull 3 things out of this article, because again, remember, I want to make this simple and I want to bring this pie in the sky notion to a level that we can all work on, right? And we can work on this manifestation of getting to the point in life that we desire. We can work on this together and we can understand it together. So there are 3 primary things that, according to Daymond, if you do these 3 things, you will begin to manifest the life that you want to live. But let me caveat this. The reason why I'm boiling this down to these 3 things is because I'm also going to elaborate on them. And I'm going to give you a little bit of detail that I think is sometimes missing in a lot of the content that I see online. So if you don't do anything else to manifest the life that you want to desire, do these 3 things. Be clear about what you want in life. Let go of limiting beliefs and trust the process. And that one is just so, so loosey-goosey. So I definitely want to talk to you about that one. So let's first tackle be clear about what you want. I know when I say that, a lot of people may already think that they're very clear about what they want in life. But what I'm going to caution you with here is that, when you say you want something in life, I want you to think about, are you as clear with that statement as you are clear with your current station in life? Because I think that's the part of the equation that a lot of people sort of overlook when they become, clear about what they want in life and they begin to define their vision statements around what they want in life. Clarity is not only about being clear about what you want, but clear about where you are and who you are in life. So that's all part of being clear. As a matter of fact, if you're not clear about where you're starting from, if you're not clear about your baseline in life, this is probably one of the primary reasons why people give up on what they are doing in life, because just as soon as they write their vision statement down, they do a quick evaluation in their head and they're like, oh, this goal is just too big. And what they're really beginning to understand is that they have identified a goal or a vision statement that is completely out of alignment with the current baseline that they are living in life, because this vision statement is brand new. It wasn't something that they were already working on, right? So if your vision statement is completely out of alignment and is incongruent with the life that you are currently living, obviously this is going to be a very tough life goal to meet. And I'm not saying that you cannot meet it. I'm just saying be clear about what it takes to achieve that goal and to manifest what it is that you want to manifest out of life. Because the more out of alignment that your life goal and vision statement is that you want to manifest, means the more you have to give up or pour into it in order to achieve it, right? Life is give and take. Life is balance. What you want today, you need to sacrifice things today in order to get to that place tomorrow, right? So it's all about making the necessary sacrifices in order to manifest your goals, right? This is just part of life. It's part of the design of life. We live in a bipolar world. We live in a world where the range goes from, negative to positive, and we can operate anywhere in between. So the more out of alignment you are with your vision statement is the more work you will have to, pour into it. So be very clear about not only the vision statement that you define for yourself, but also where you're starting from. And as a matter of fact, all it probably really takes is you rewriting your vision statement. And this brings me to a very good point, because I think rewriting your vision statement is extremely important. So another part of being clear about what you want to manifest is actually writing it down. You wouldn't believe how many times, sometimes I get in these conversations with my clients and we're getting through the project and I'm asking a question like, what are the next steps? And what I'm really asking is, what is your plan, right? And if it's not written down, then that means we have to write it down, because the more you write things down, the more you write your vision statements down, that is the more likely you are to achieve them. Now, this is not just fluff, and those actually are not just my words. So let me point you to a report that was generated by this organization called Management 3.0. You can find them online, management30.com. And here is the direct statement from that content online. Actually, I'm paraphrasing, but the percentages come directly from the article. We are 42% more likely to reach our goals in life if we write them down, yet only 20% of us do so, right? So if you're having trouble manifesting, it could be quite simply because you haven't written it down, right? So you're constantly chasing a moving target, right? And I agree with this percentage 100%. Yes, 80% of the people that I talk with and work with have not written their vision statements down. They have not written their goals down. They don't have a plan. So one of the things that I constantly encourage my clients to do is to write things down and to develop a plan. All right. So let's move on to let go of limiting beliefs. Now, Evolver, do you have limiting beliefs about yourself? And yes, I know. So I know most of you will say, no, I don't. I'm confident. I'm confident in everything that I'm doing. I know I can do wonderful and fantastic things in life. Yeah, I get that. I know a lot of us, especially, in a space that I'm in the space that you're probably in because you're following my content, you are in a place where you practice affirmations all the time. You're constantly telling yourself that you can do great and wonderful things. You are praying. You have a good relationship with the one that you serve, and that is wonderful. However, evolver, I think sometimes, and I'm guilty of this myself, we don't realize just in our everyday existence when we have conversations with people and we're thinking about the goals that we want to have in life, and we're just moving about. Sometimes there's these phrases that enter into our thoughts and they enter into our dialogue, and it's actually a symptom of having a limiting belief about yourself. So don't just take my word for it. Again, I have another source here, and I'm going to refer to Inc.com, such a wonderful resource for entrepreneurs and people who are seeking to thrive in a corporate sector and throughout their professions. There is an article that actually identified 8 limiting beliefs that people have about themselves. And what I love about the article is that it doesn't state the beliefs as something that you have to search for. It actually captures the 8 beliefs as statements people make in conversations, and I hear a lot of them all the time. So let's just get through that list. Number 1, success should come easy, right? So a lot of people are trying to do things, they're trying to get things done, and they believe that just because they have the idea that they want to get it done and this is a goal for themselves, then I should get this goal and reach this goal very easily, right? So when things aren't easy and they get hard, people feel like they can't reach that goal, right? So that is a limiting belief. Success should come easy. Yeah, we should take that phrase out of our vocabulary, and we should just say something like success is achievable. But again, to my first part of this video, we have to understand what it takes to reach that success. Number 2, this person is doing better than I am. The comparison thing. This could be very, very, very stifling. And I hear it a lot of times, especially in today's world. Everything is so competitive. We're competing for likes. We're competing for revenue. We're competing for assets, right? So sometimes this phrase creeps into the conversation, and we say things like, this person is doing better than I am as it relates to a goal that I am attempting to reach. Again, we should take this out of our vocabulary. Life is not about a competition. The only person, and I preach this, the only person you should be competing with is yourself to rise to your next level in life and what you are meant to do. I should be further along. Oh my God, this one hits me just in my heart, because this phrase is one that I actually used to use all the time. I remember when I was approaching my 30s, and 30 was just a point in my life where I had set a lot of milestones for myself. And I remember when I just wasn't reaching those milestones on time, I remember thinking, well, I should be further along. But again, you can take this phrase out of your vocabulary, and because I can speak to this one particularly, and this video is about how, let me tell you how I remove this phrase out of my vocabulary. Through prayer, and actually really seeking to develop my own spiritual relationship with God and the universe. And at the time, I just remember asking, what do I need to do to make sure that I begin to enjoy life and I begin to, find my joy and match that joy to what I am accomplishing in life. And I remember, that as the phrase goes, God speaks to you in mysterious ways. A lot of times then people around you just become the messengers of the message that you need to receive. Sometimes it may be even something that you hear on television, or it may be something that you hear on the radio. And, I just remember hearing a lot of things at that time that, I really, instead of dwelling on what I have not accomplished, should be focused on being thankful for what I have. And when I focused on being thankful, I remember that phrase of I should be further along begin to dissolve in my life. I am not enough. I hear this one a lot. It's actually, one of the phrases that I continually try to encourage a lot of my coaching clients to use is I am enough. Instead of saying I am not enough, turn that phrase positive. So that's an easy one. If you find yourself thinking that you are not enough, begin to, just use this mantra, I am enough. Just say it on a daily basis so that you can get the idea of you not being enough in life. Just get that idea out of your head. I am not ready. Oh my goodness. So many people use this phrase just in conversation. Sometimes I don't even have to be in a client meeting for this one. Sometimes it's just among peers or people in my immediate sphere of influence. A lot of people carry this fear of not being ready to do something that they want to accomplish in life. It's really a fear, and people attempt to cover the fear up with a phrase like, I'm not ready, because the idea is to sort of, disguise the fear with, I want people to understand I'm going to be confident whenever I embark on my effort or, I chase this goal, right? So instead of saying I'm not ready, the way to drop this phrase from your vocabulary is just to say say something like I'm working on my plan, right? So that when my plan is ready, I will launch. Because a lot of times when people say they're not ready, they're also not really working on the things in the background they need to work on to be ready. So to take this phrase out of your vocabulary, replace it with something actionable that you are working to get to the point of being ready. Number 6, someone else will take this opportunity from me. This one, again, it's mapped to a fear of doing something in life. A lot of us, we have, it's the fear, and we begin to hoard some ideas or some talents that we have because we fear that once we put that out into the world, then somebody will take it from us. Okay. And again, that's just something that internally that can be worked on, because what we sometimes have to realize is that if we truly focus on our unique talents and how we can fold in our unique talents into whatever it is that we are attempting to accomplish. I like to say if we fold in our own personal brands into whatever it is that we are doing, we will be successful, because no one can duplicate you, right? If you're truly focusing on you when you are attempting to launch an effort or launch a business. Remember that business or that effort is a brainchild of yours. It comes from you. So your DNA is uniquely marked and embedded in that effort and in that business. I have to be perfect. I laugh here because this is one that really used to stifle me a long time ago. I would say maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I remember being such a perfectionist, especially when I entered into my corporate career. And again, I can uniquely talk to this one and give you a way that I got this out of my vocabulary, and a way that I removed this blocker from preventing me from getting to additional levels in my life. I was so much a perfectionist until I remember one time in my corporate environment, this actually ended up in my performance review. And I remember being told in one of my performance reviews that you are a perfectionist, and sometimes it makes other people around you uncomfortable, right? And so at the time, I didn't understand how to take that feedback during my performance review. But at the time, remember, I've always sort of been on a spiritual quest and a journey to learn more about myself and to learn more about how I can be better. And instead of seeing that as a negative comment, I chose to weave it into my brand, because remember, I'm a brander, right? I'm a brander with Daymond and Company Creative. I brand people. And this was something unique to me that I chose to weave into my brand. So in order to drop this in my life as a blocker to prevent me from moving forward, what I did is I wove it into my brand, and I began to understand that, yes, I am a perfectionist, but I need to understand that even though I'm a perfectionist, nothing can be perfect. So the way that I wove it into my brand is that, I used to have this mantra: I can aim for perfection even though perfection is not possible. And in that way, I always know that there's another level I could attempt to go to. So that's a unique example for me. And if you're struggling with, this whole perfectionist mentality and it's preventing you from moving forward, just understand nothing can be perfect. There's nothing wrong with having goals. There's nothing wrong with having higher level desires. Just be realistic. And finally, number 8, business success is all or nothing. Again, this is one of those limiting beliefs that stifles a lot of people, because what they're doing is they're polarizing living life and working business. They don't see anything in between, right? So this can be limiting in that you may literally stop yourself from doing something or chasing a life goal because you think that it competes with something going on in your life, and you don't see a way to make those two marry. But you can balance whatever it is you want to pursue in life with your life. Again, remember, you sometimes have to go back to the drawing board, and then you have to just rewrite your vision statement, right? And what I encourage people to do is when you're manifesting things in your life, you should manifest very authentic things. If something is authentic, that means it maps to a lot of things you're probably already working. That means you probably have a business that you need to start because it's a talent and a gift that you already have embedded in yourself, right? So you can already make that a part of life. It's actually how Daymond and Company Creative got started. I'm a creative talent, but I'm also an engineer. I have a hobby that turned into a freelance job, right? So that was the way that I actually combined business with life, right? So enough of that, enough of the limiting beliefs. I hope that was very helpful to help you to start taking some of these phrases out of your vocabulary and your dialogue, because if you use them and you say them, that means that it is a limiting belief. Remember, you can speak things into existence. So in order to stop speaking them into existence, just stop saying them. And finally, again, I told you this inspirational insight would be a long one, but manifestation is a very heavy topic. I think I saved the best for last. Trust the process. And the reason why I saved this one for last, but I wanted to make sure it made my top 3, is because I don't have a source for this one other than myself. And I could tell you what I personally experienced when I was beginning to understand the whole idea of manifestation. Remember, I kind of started out this video saying people made it seem like you snap your fingers and you can manifest something, and then all of a sudden you're going to be living the life that you desire or the life that you want to lead. And then they'll say something like, trust the process. That's such a loosey-goosey statement, right? It's just so loosey-goosey. And I really had to spend a lot of time on this one and understand that manifestation is something that is unique to each and every one of us. And each and every one of us is at a different level of, life development, spiritual development, professional development. And so there's a lot of flexibility in that. And then when someone says something like trust the process, I'm like, it's so flexible, so how am I supposed to trust it? And if you're in the headspace that I'm in, because remember, I'm actually very analytical. If you didn't know, so I still operate in engineering space, but I'm a creative talent. And so if you tell me to believe in something that's very flexible, I'm probably going to look at you with the side eye and be like, how am I supposed to believe in that? Because you can't even tell me, give me a solid answer for it. In order to make trusting the process work for me, let me tell you what I ended up doing. I ended up trying to understand the process for myself, and the process for me ended up understanding that I had to look deep inside of myself and be very clear about what I wanted to do in life and be very, very clear with my desires. I had to remove those limiting beliefs that I just mentioned. But most of all, I had to be authentic, because when I'm authentic, that means that I can now have things that I want to manifest in life that truly come from my heart and my soul and my spirit, right? Because the only way that I could believe in something is if my heart understands it. The only way that I can trust something is if my spirit understands it, right? And in order for my heart and my spirit to understand it, that means that I've done the work to peel back the layers and understand what it means for me. It authentically resonates with me. So when people tell you something like, trust the process of manifestation, and you're in that place where you're like, I don't know what to trust because you haven't convinced me that I can trust in anything. Remember, at the end of the day, what you can trust in is yourself, because you are the captain of your own soul. That's what you trust in. So for me, trusting the process was more than just believing I can have a life goal and then believing in it so much that, the energy around it is going to make it, visual come into play and be materialized. It was more than that. It was all about me understanding and being very clear in heart, in mind, in body, in soul, in spirit, that whatever it is that I want to manifest in life is indeed congruent with who I am and my true purpose in life. So to me, that is what trust the process is. So just to rehash everything that I covered in this video, remember, if you are struggling with manifestation, if you don't do anything else, just do these top 3 things and replay this video. Be clear about what you want in life. Let go of limiting beliefs and trust the process. In other words, allow yourself to reach deep inside yourself and be very authentic with what you are trying to manifest so that you can trust it in the first place. Remember, I am Daymond the brand, CLC. I'm technically inclined, creatively driven. I am your certified life coach with pluralpreneur.com. You can visit me online at any time. And if you're looking to start your life coaching journey with me, you can also start it there. XO.